another review life chesses for Beyond the Gates, August 7, 2025. First things first, let me know y'all thoughts on today's new episode down below. Did y'all like the episode? Are y'all shocked by what we found out? I mean, we ain't found out nothing yet, but what we speculating. Cause I don't know y'all thoughts or whatever, but let me know down below. But yeah, to me, this was a good episode. Now I'm just going based off of what I think happened. I don't know what actually happened. I'm just speculating. But from what I've been seeing on this episode, hold on. Let me put the phone over here, y'all. Okay, so look, I'm gonna give a quick summary. Now I don't know if this is true or not. This is just what I got from the episode. So I said it looks like Randy and Haley in cahoots together, y'all, or at least it looked like that. Danny tried to take. I said the same thing twice. Randy and Haley in cahoots together, or at least it looked like that. I just said it wrong, y'all. But yeah, I was like, wait a minute, where he come from? First of all, but yeah, Haley was bleeding allegedly, and Danny was trying to take her to the hospital. She like, stay away from me. She told her to stay away from her or whatever. She was like, I'd rather go to the hospital with a complete stranger or whatever before I let you take me. She was like, you can you can lay in my back seat or something like that. And she know or whatever. That's when she said she would rather a complete stranger take her. She's like, you. And she pointed at Randy. I said, I know that's Randy. I said, when he get back there? But yeah, she ends up, hold on, where I'm at? I lost the part, y'all. Hold on. Let me scan it. Then they tried to take Haley to the hospital. She ended up declining, said she'd rather go with a stranger, Randy or whatever, except he said his name was Sammy. But yeah, they was walking out or whatever, and he looked back at her. I know he know she was in there with what's her name, her best friend Pamela. She was back there at that Joey casino or whatever with Pamela or whatever. And she said he looked familiar. But I'm skipping ahead. I supposed to be just doing a summary or whatever. But yeah, like I said, he was looking back there or whatever. He knew that she recognized him. So he ended up coming back. She was like, what happened? Is the baby okay? Is Haley okay? He like, I don't know or whatever. She like, what do you mean you don't know? He's talking about something. When he took her to the hospital or whatever, they wheeled her in. And, that's what the last he know of it. She wanted her purse and phone or whatever. So he said he'll take it. She was like, I could just take it so I can make sure she's okay. Bill wouldn't want her to be alone. He's like, no, she made it clear that Mrs. Hamilton is not to come anywhere near her or whatever. I said, how you know her name? Did she say who she was? I don't know if she said who she was or not, but it looked like they in cahoots together. But what else? Let me see. I already said Danny ends up recognizing him, or she looked like she recognized him, and he was like, he tried to make it seem like his name was Sammy. His name ain't no Sammy. I said, did he tell her his name was Sammy because, Joey told him to leave town? Didn't he tell him to leave town? I don't know. But yeah, Naomi ended up confronting Haley about her ultrasound. Haley ends up telling Bill that she lost the baby, and I was like, what baby? I said, what doggone baby? And I was waiting on Danny, because Danny was sitting there, she was thinking and stuff like that. She was thinking about Randy and what he said and Haley and the bleeding and everything. And I said, go in the restroom. I said, I know she left a trail. I know she left some evidence or something. I said, go in the restroom. At first I was saying go through her phone because she left the phone there. And Danny looked at it, but she didn't do nothing. She just called Bill. I said, Danny, you had one job, Danny. Hold up. I said, you had one job. But what else? Let me see. Ashley ends up telling Naomi about Haley, but she didn't specifically say her because, HIPAA or whatever. But she still told, basically. Vanessa warns Doug about the bug in his car. Jacob implied that Elon the crooked cop, but Elon reminded him of all he didn't do in regards to his job, Danny and Nicole. And he put him on, what's it called? Desk duty. He put him on desk duty. Danny ends up letting Bill know that Haley went to the hospital. Doug asks Randy why he's there because, Joey told him he better leave. But yeah, that was just a quick summary. Now let's talk about it. Naomi wanted Ashley to tell her, what's going on in regards to Haley and Bill's baby. At first, she beating around the bush, talking about some nothing. She was like, I know there's something going on or whatever, because basically you ain't good at lying, or at least, excuse me. She basically was telling her how she's not good at lying or whatever, how you could see it all over her face. Danny tries to help Haley, but she wouldn't let her. Elon stops by to see Joey about a murderer or whatever. For nothing. He wasn't going to do nothing. They shaking hands and stuff, and here comes Jacob. I said, Jacob, now it's not the time or the place. Oh, my goodness. But yeah, I understand. He definitely trying to do his job. But what else? Let me see. Vanessa ends up telling Doug that he needs to back off. Doug, mad, feels like Ted judged him. He over here yelling and stuff like that. Talking about some Joey, what's it called? Laundering money and stuff. I said, dude, at this point, just go and get him. Just go and take him, Joey. Hold on, y'all. But Vanessa ends up telling Doug that Joey is dangerous or whatever, and I said, no, it's Sherlock. No, it's Sherlock. Duh. He was telling you that from the jump before you found out about the whole, the scene at Orphan Jeans where Joey had told her that they had to dispose of a body. He had told you the man was dangerous. She didn't want to hear it. Tell me, he's dangerous. No, girl, no. But yeah, he started yelling out that Joey it's money laundering or whatever. And I said, dude, just take him away at this point. Just take him away at this point. Go on, get him, Joey. Go on, get him. But yeah, it was revealed that Elon was in the dark. He didn't know that they was going to commit a murder. He did not know about that. He was like, he didn't sign off on it. They had this meeting at Bill's office, and nobody said anything about murdering anybody. And he was saying how he knows that Joey was the one responsible. He's like, well, take me in. Should I call my lawyer? He was like, no. He's like, no, whatever. But basically, he told him the case is closed. He not going to do nothing about it or whatever. But Jacob over here, I highly doubt Jacob finna let this go. Just because you told him to let it go, just because you closed the case, doesn't mean he going to listen to you. Does not mean he going to listen to you. I don't think he going to listen. I think he going to go behind his back. It's always somebody over. What he is anyway? What is Elon? Look, I heard him say it. Is he chief of police or something like that? Ain't it somebody over him too? If I'm not mistaken, isn't somebody over Elon as well? I don't know, y'all. But yeah, let me see. Where I stop it. Excuse me. I already said Haley wanted Randy to take her to the hospital. Danny tried to take her. She was like, no, she want her to stay away from her. She still trying to make it seem like Danny did something to my son. You done enough. She ain't did nothing. You was doing most of the talking. You was doing all the talking. But yeah, I was like, Bill, come on now. I'm sure that you got the ability to find out information that even she don't want you to know. The way he be over here doing favors for people and stuff, I know Bill got the ability to go over her head either way it go. Even though it's her health and stuff like that, and they have all these rules and HIP and all this other stuff, they ain't never stopped nobody before. So I was like, I know he got the power. I said, Bill, how she get from the hospital that fast? He just left out of there to get her person phone. Where did the person phone go? Because I know he ain't teleport over there. Because Naomi was over there. She over here on the couch and stuff. Hold on, y'all. Well, yeah, let me see. Like I said, Haley wanted Randy to take her to the hospital. Then tried to take her. She declined. Naomi know that Haley never had an ultrasound. They were just talking about that. Elon reveals that he closed the case. Jacob sees Elon with Joey shaking hands. And he came in there trying to confront him. Doug said, hide your kids, hide your wife or whatever. And I was like, look, he mad. They over here. I said, I don't like this. I don't like this. She keep making it seem like, oh, all this is happening because of him. And I was like, well, you wanted Joey before you even knew that your husband was gambling and had a problem or whatever. Hold on. Then with Doug, he don't sit up here and quit his job and he mad about it. And Vanessa was telling him, she was like, you can't blame Ted or nobody. Nobody told you to quit your job or whatever. And he told my son he won't be disrespected or had them basically make it seem like he ain't doing his job. But you've been messing up. You've been messing up and you've been making it very public that you've been messing up. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Let me see what else. Vanessa tells Doug that Joey put a bug in his car and he come all the way down. Once she told him that. Told that he heard the entire conversation. Now I was confused at first. When they showed Doug after, his whole meeting with Vanessa, he came back into Orphan Jeans and he had a box or whatever. And I was like, what he doing with a phone? I said, is he about to, I didn't see the phone at first. I was like, what is he doing with that box? I said, is he got a, look, I'm so slow. I was like, he got another bug to replace the bug. I was like, what? That don't even make sense, girl. I said, that don't make no doggone sense. Well, yeah, he had a phone, so I'm assuming it's what they call a burner phone or whatever. But then he sees Randy, and he's like, what are you doing here or whatever? I said, yeah, both of y'all together, they gonna get you. Look, what they said? I can't say the word. Dog. Blank, two birds with one stone. Ain't that how they said? Yeah. I said, look, Joey, they go both of them. Handle both of them at this point, because neither one of them pay attention or learn anything. But yeah, let me see. Doug started trying to tell Vanessa to, take her own advice about staying away from Joey and not getting on his bad side and stuff like that. She over here to my son, she got it and all this other stuff and making it seem like she doing that for him and them and all this other stuff. But she did manage to convince him not to, go report Joey. Hold on, y'all. She did manage to convince him. What else? Let's see. I already said Jacob implied that Elon's a crooked cop. Danny ends up calling Bill to tell that something terrible has happened, that, Haley was bleeding and stuff like that. So that's when he was like, he probably went to the hospital or whatever. She told my son she lost the baby. Told me she lost the doggone baby. I was like, Bill. Now, I don't know how this go. I don't know, if they got a protocol. I don't know if they let you go home that fast or what the case may be. But either way it goes, something ain't adding up. Something ain't clicking. Now, I'm waiting to see tomorrow's episode because I want to see if Naomi mentioned anything about the ultrasound. Or is she going to be so sad and engulfed in this bull crap that she don't say nothing? I said it's about time for Bill to find out before they do something to him. And I say, oh my goodness, I can't believe this. I think they in cahoots together. I think it's obvious they in cahoots together. Haley and Randy. But yeah, let me see. What else? Doug tells Vanessa she needs to stop in regards to money laundering and stuff like that. He even said something about giving over the whole real estate business. She's like, she's not about to do that. Jacob mad that Elon closed the case or whatever. He started talking about that. Talking about, so he used to look up to him. He used to fight all these kids about him and stuff like that. And you taught me everything I know. And he just felt some type of way about his daddy being involved with Joey. And I get it. I definitely get it or whatever. But I said, now ain't the time, Jacob. I said, now ain't the time, and it definitely ain't the place. Joey said he got eyes and ears everywhere. I said, you might want to shut it up. I said, you might want to shut it up before Joey shut you up. I said, Joey gonna have to take out a lot of people because all these people threatening him and going behind his back and all this other stuff. But yeah, let me see what else. Elon ends up reminding Jacob of what he's done. He's like, you trying to act like you basically a Boy Scout and you don't do no wrong. You over here, confronting him and all this other stuff and then implying that he a cricket cop. But then wasn't you supposed to arrest Danny, your mother-in-law? What about your wife's aunt or whatever, talking about Nicole? And he ends up telling him his face changed then. I said, I ain't even think about that. I said, that's just gonna fuel, what they said, add more fuel to the fire. I said, now he definitely finna arrest everybody. Then he got mad. Elon got mad. He was telling him about himself or whatever. He was like, he ordering him to get off the case and not investigate no more. And he put him on desk duty. And I was like, yeah, that's definitely gonna make him go investigate some more. That definitely is. What else? Let's see. Ashley ends up telling Naomi, what did she tell her? Oh, Danny thinks, cause I wrote that wrong. Ashley ends up telling Naomi that Danny thinks that Haley's faking the pregnancy. Naomi was over here acting like she just in disbelief, like it's hard to imagine or whatever. Why would she do that? She already have, my father and stuff like that. I was like, cuz, we don't know. I about to say cuz, but then I thought about it. We don't really know why she faking. We don't know if she out the money, because he did take out a life insurance policy for $10 million, and he has been putting money in all these different accounts for her and the baby, or for the baby anyways. But I was like, we don't officially know what she's up to. She hasn't said, but now the walls are closing in, and now she allegedly lost the baby. So I don't know how this finna go. I definitely don't. But yeah, Ashley tells Naomi Danny thinks that, Haley faking the pregnancy. Naomi didn't believe it. She don't think. Then, this girl, I feel like they missed their opportunity. Hold on. I feel like they missed their opportunity. They started to talk about Danny because she thinks that Haley faking the pregnancy and about, whether or not she'd do that. And Ashley mentioned something about Danny and Bill, reuniting and stuff like that. And now I'm talking about something. I don't think my mother would actually take Bill back. Shoot. She talking about, so she don't think her mama would actually take Bill back. I said, do you know your mama? I said, well, she can't know her mama. She don't even know her friend. Her used to be friend. She don't even know Haley. Talking about, so she wouldn't fake a pregnancy or whatever. And she also said how Haley, they can't be right because Haley, when they was friends, she never played about her health. Meanwhile, she fell on her stomach and didn't want to go to the doctor. Then I was like, either way it goes, if she actually had been pregnant and all that, I know sometimes they said stress can cause you to lose the baby and stuff like that. But aside from that, wouldn't they assume that the reason why she was bleeding and stuff like that is because she fell on her stomach? Because she still was in the same outfit, right? Because Bill was on the phone with Danny. He talking about, so, did she fall or something? Because she mentioned blood and all this other stuff. He talking about, did she fall? What happened or whatever? And I was like, she fell early in the office. Wouldn't they assume that that's the reason why she would have a miscarriage versus Danny over here, even though she the one was in Danny's face talking and stuff? Hold on. But yeah, maybe I'm just thinking too deep, reading too much into it, because I'd be like, some of this stuff don't even make sense now. But yeah, let me see. Let's see. I already said how Naomi don't think that her mama would take her daddy back. Ashley wants to talk about Derek and Andre. And I was like, this was the perfect opportunity. They missed the perfect opportunity. When Naomi was saying how Danny wouldn't take Bill back or whatever. I thought she was gonna say Andre and her was just at the concert kissing and stuff. No, I thought she was gonna say that. I thought she was gonna say actually her and Andre was at the concert kissing. She ain't said nothing. She was on hush mode. Cause Ashley just said, I think Naomi was asking her, why did she call her over there? I know she wanted to talk about Derek, or something she said about Derek, and she was like, and Andre. So I was like, here's your opening, girl. Tell her. I said, I'm ready for her to find out that they sleeping together. Nothing. What else? Let's see. Danny ends up asking Randy if the baby is okay. How's Haley doing? He told me, he don't know. And I wrote down, I was like, do they know each other? I said, they gotta know each other. It looks like they know each other. Now, I don't know if she just found him one day at the casino and decided to come up with a plan to get Bill money or whatever the case may be. I don't know because they haven't revealed anything yet. But yeah, I was looking at him. They talking about his name was, he said his name was Sammy. And I heard like, okay, wait a minute. I said, ain't that Randy? I said, did he say Randy or Sammy? I'm over here at the beginning of when they first said it. I'm like, maybe I didn't hear right. So I'm like, I'm trying to make the names rhyme and stuff. I'm like, Randy, Sammy, Randy, Sammy, just steady going back and forth. And then Danny, he came back for the person on the phone. And that's when Danny was like, did you say your name was Sammy? And then he had to think about it. He was like, yeah, whatever. And I said, yeah, that's who she was on the phone with. That's why she was saying, like, she was happy to hear, she was glad to hear that he was safe. I said, that's why. I said, how long they been knowing each other? Look, I got questions now. This is getting good. This is getting interesting. But yeah, let's see. Elon ends up ordering Jacob to stop investigating, and he put him on desk duty. And I said, I highly doubt Jacob is done. I said, I highly doubt that he's done. Randy said he don't know what happened. I already said that part. Danny recognizes Sammy or whatever from the casino. I already know. I know she recognized him from there because they showed him. Wasn't he there? Then? Then next thing you know, after he left with the person on the phone, they show her on the doggone couch. She over here just look like she proud about what she done did. Then Naomi came or whatever. I wanted Bill. I wanted that to be Bill. Hold on, y'all. I wanted that to be Bill. I wanted Bill to walk through and say, I thought she was at the hospital or something. It's about time for her to get caught slipping, ain't it? But yeah, it was just Naomi. Naomi came to ask her why she lied about the ultrasound. She over here acting like she don't know what's going on. Talking about her daddy not. Yo, dad, if you're looking for Bill, he's not here or whatever and all this other stuff. So they going back and forth. She asking her about the ultrasound. And she was like, who told you, Ashley? And she was like, no, of course not. You know Ashley don't play about that HIPAA stuff. She don't play about her job. And I said, shoot, she clearly, she done told. I mean, she ain't say no names exactly. But you know who she was talking about. But yeah, what else? So before they got to continue, that's when Bill came in. Did he say he went to the hospital? I don't know, but she was like, I lost the baby. And Naomi just looking. I said, Naomi, you better tell it. You better tell it right now. Naomi. But I don't know. She told me, so I lost our baby. She about to cry and everything. I said, she did put on a performance though, y'all. I said, let me see what time it is. 6:10. Okay. I said she definitely put on a performance though, made me believe it, even though I knew she was lying. What else? Let me see. Doug asked Randy what he was thinking. He not supposed to be there or whatever. And the last thing was that Haley tells Bill she lost the baby, and I said once again, what baby? And that was it, y'all. That was it. I was like, I said, this is getting good. I want to know, how do they know each other? How does she know Randy? Is that her lover? Did she just meet him? Did she pay him or say she would pay him a part of the $10 million? I know doggone well she ain't trying to get Randy to take Bill out. He didn't even want to take out, what was the dude named Kenneth? I said, did she hire him to take out Bill? Do we supposed to be trying to take out Bill? Because he didn't even take out Kenneth, so I know he ain't going to do that job. But then again, I don't know. But yeah, that's it. That's all, y'all. What did y'all think of the episode? Let me know down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time.